Oh, it's going to be a hot one in Boca today. FAU hosting Georgia Southern next on Stadium. Conference USA football on Stadium as FAU welcomes in Georgia Southern on a day where the feels like temperature is above 100. Welcome to the booth, everybody. We are hot. That is Seth Bonner. You like being called hot, don't you, young man? I'm Chris Hassel. Looking forward to this one today. Two experienced teams, especially on the FAU side. They only lost one player from last year.
Yeah, both a lot of experience and playing well. You look at last week, FAU able to finish that game strong. Georgia Southern got off to a good start, 1-0 on the year.
These teams played last year. Georgia Southern won 20-3, but FAU now has a legit dual-threat quarterback in Miami transfer N'Kosi Perry.
A tremendously experienced kid, has played against some of the toughest teams in the country, understands what he's doing. There you see him on the zone read and the finish with power. He really relishes competition. You see the athleticism to get the snap, first of all, but then the Patrick Mahomes sidearm slinger out for the completion, and his passing attack continues to improve. You see him keep his eyes down, but tucks it, goes and gets yards. He's getting better and better. His ball handling action in the backfield does a really nice job, and here is where the maturation comes from. You see him settle in, throw the nice dig route over the middle. He's getting better each time out.
Hung in there with Florida pretty well last week. If they could have converted on some of those drives in the first half, 4 times in Florida territory, 0 points, that would have been an interesting game. N'Kosi Perry at home in Florida, as you see, so much time with the Miami Hurricanes. On the other side, Georgia Southern all about the run game, and they have Logan Wright, who's coming off a career game in the win over Gardner-Webb.
Yeah, you talk about wanting to be RB number 1. He was exactly that. 26 carries, 176 yards, and a touchdown. Carried the load for this team. He is as solid as they come. You look at him, he is a man's man, a big boy, not afraid to go between the tackles and pound the rock. The breakaway speed's not there, but his vision and anticipation of things that he's able to do is fantastic.
Georgia Southern has to outrun FAU today. When they don't outrush their opponents, they don't win. Since joining the FBS in 2014, they are 0-21 when being outrushed. FAU a 7-point favorite in this one. Should be a good one. Hope everybody can stay hydrated and stay with us here on Stadium. Georgia Southern and FAU next from Boca. Here at Howard Schnellenberger Field, it was a celebration of life for the program founder here at FAU. Their first coach died back in March, and they had a celebration of life last night here at the stadium. Players from anywhere from the Dolphins to the Hurricanes to the Sooners, including Bernie Kosar in attendance.
Influence that he had on me and in my foundational years, the trust, the respect, the faith, the confidence that he showed in me, I just can't thank him enough for that.
Special ceremony last night. They'll be wearing a decal on the helmets all season long. Came here, this was his last stop at FAU from 2001 to 2011. Touched so many lives, and beginning this year, right here at the Boca Bowl, the winner will be presented with the Howard Schnellenberger Championship Trophy. Home opener for FAU, and the students are ready to go on a sun-splashed, very typical sunny afternoon in South Florida this time of the year. The temperature is about 89, 90 degrees, but it's the humidity that's going to get you today. The feels like temperature is 100. Normally, they play night games here this time of the year, but a day game for FAU. Willie Taggart, the head coach of the Owls, and there we are. Feels like 97 officially. Little bit of a breeze out of the east-southeast that isn't doing much. Basically just blowing hot air in your face. That's Seth Bonner. I'm Chris Hassel. We are getting ready to kick. Georgia Southern will kick it off to FAU. Ready to do this, partner?
I am. Very, very hot. I mean, 97 feels mild compared to what it really feels like.
And we're in a booth that is supposedly air-conditioned, but we opened up the windows so we can feel what the players and fans are feeling today.
That good old Nat sound. There's nothing better.
Should be a real good one. I mentioned last year, Georgia Southern won 20-3. That one was in Statesboro. Florida Atlantic had some real offensive struggles last season. They think they've got that corrected this year with N'Kosi Perry at quarterback. Underway here from Boca Raton, and this kick is going to be brought out from a couple yards deep in the end zone, and stumbling down at the 20 or so yard line is DeMarcus Adams, who looked like he had some running room if he could have kept his footing.
He keeps his footing there. It's going to be a big return, and we'll get a look at this explosive offense. They felt like they left plays out a week ago against Florida, possibly giving them too much credit.
Well, look, it was only 14-0 Florida at halftime, and all 4 FAU drives in that first half crossed midfield, but some mistakes. They had a fumble. They had a couple turnovers on downs. The very first play of the game was a false start penalty. They want to be a lot more smooth in this one as they start out of the I formation. N'Kosi Perry is under center, and he'll throw it on first down to Brandon Robinson down the sideline.
It's a great look here. Smoke route, you give your quarterback the option. You've got numbers, grass, and opportunity to take advantage. It's a great job, great read early, get it out fast. DB 7 yards off and can't tackle in space.
It said, we were talking with Michael Johnson, the offensive coordinator for Florida Atlantic. He said they're hoping to exploit the cover 4 defense deep. What does he mean by that?
Well, they're going to give them stuff, give them everything underneath. But again, they got in trouble a week ago, Georgia Southern, having bad eyes, looking at the wrong things, getting out of position.
Good position there as Darrell Baker Jr. covered that one up. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Georgia Southern did get the win 30-25 at home against Gardner-Webb, but they really limped to the finish line. The team wasn't happy at all with the way they closed the game. And when we were talking with head coach Chad Lunsford, he said he was really pleased when he came into the locker room after the game that he didn't have to get on the team. They weren't celebrating. They were upset with the way they finished the game.
Yeah, they wanted to definitely be stronger than that, especially the way they dominated the first half of that game.
Toss play and nothing doing for Johnny Ford. That's Kadri Jackson shaking his head, the transfer from UNC. You're not going there.
Look at taking up 2 bodies inside, and I think that's all D-line play. Doing a great job up front, stacking guys up, and those linebackers, Trey Allen, Kadri Jackson, able to run and finish the play.
Chad Lunsford at his 4th full season as the Georgia Southern head coach. It's 3rd down and 9 here on the opening drive of the game. Against a 3-man front, Perry steps up under pressure, dumps it to the sideline. It's caught. First down, FAU. LaJohntay Webster.
This is a fantastic route and finish. And Perry just does everything he can to give his tight end a chance, but a good job of uncovering as he comes across and finishes the route. That's a great job. Look at him curl back down to it.
Just go get it, Wester. Just get it.
Job.
Saved his quarterback there on 3rd down. Another toss play. It's Johnny Ford again. He lost the football and he just falls on it for a loss. Back to the 37.5 yard line. They'll lose 6 yards on that play, but it could have been a lot worse.
This is really physical football. You know, this team isn't going to be afraid. They practice against a team that runs about as well as anybody in the country. But that's a great fill by the corner, Darrell Baker. Physical to the point of attack, and when you see it all day, you know exactly how to stop it. But you talked about the mistakes a week ago for the Owls, and you know they come out, big play on first down, then all of a sudden they start going backwards. Same thing here. Get a first down, toss play, simple toss play, and you lose 8 yards on a fumble.
Perry's going to step up and run and dive toward the original line of scrimmage, but it'll bring up a 3rd down and 12. They also had trouble holding on to the ball in the last matchup last year against Georgia Southern. They turned the ball over 4 times. And Willie Taggart was telling us it wasn't even as close as 20-3. It could have been a lot worse.
Well, you look at the turnovers, and Georgia Southern since 2018 is plus 39. They're number 1 in the country in turnover margin over that span.
Led the FBS with 18 interceptions last season. But they can't stop this passing attack on third down. Another conversion for FAU. It's Brandon Robinson once again in to Georgia Southern territory at the 40.
This is a great dig route and a good job. I mean, N'Kosi Perry sticks this ball on him. Watch Z come in there right there on the dig, fights through the contact, and finishes the play. He's not looking for a flag. He's just trying to make a play. That's special.
And that's what FAU just didn't have last season. Trying out a bunch of different quarterbacks. Nick Troney, Javian Posey, who's now a wide receiver. They're number 11, lining up in the slot. Willie Taggart Jr., who might be a great quarterback down the road, but as a true freshman was not ready last season. But N'Kosi Perry has 2 years of eligibility left. And he evades the pressure once again. He'll pick up positive yardage and go out of bounds at around the 36-yard line.
And this is really, you know, what makes it different, because he can elude guys and athletes, not just anybody, but those are athletic kids coming after him. He's got that much talent and elusiveness. But to turn a sack into a 4 or 5 yard gain, that's the difference maker for this team.
And really efficient through the air on this drive. 3 for 4, 42 yards. A couple of big third down conversions as well. Trips to the right. It's going to be a handoff. And oh boy, it was C.J. Wright who blew that up. No gain, maybe a loss of a half yard on the play.
Nose takes 2 right there. Guard and center can't get to him. I tell you, it moves laterally about as well as anybody.
He was second team all Sun Belt last season, was C.J. Wright. Be surprised if he's not a first teamer this year.
Well, you watch how they, I mean, literally down in and down out. They play with their hair on fire up front.
And pressure up the middle, and down goes Perry. It's Tyler Bride with his first sack of the season. Takes him out of field goal range, and FAU is likely punting.
This is a mistake by Perry here. He's got his tight end coming across the field wide open. You cannot blitz anybody. Watch 85 go right there. Boom. He misses a hot. He's open in space. You at least keep yourself in field goal range, and maybe he breaks a few tackles and gets the first down. Got to have your eyes in the proper space. Understand what you're looking at.
And now they'll have to punt it away from Georgia Southern territory. End over end. It's going to bounce at the goal line and comes right back like a lob wedge.
I wish.
Not your lob wedge.
I wish my lob wedge looked like that.
Brooks Koepka's lob wedge.
Yes.
Nicely done. They mark it at the 5-yard line as DeMarcus Adams got down there and made sure to pin Georgia Southern deep. 9:01 to play in this first quarter. Georgia Southern gets the football after a 10-play, 0-point drive for Florida Atlantic. And at quarterback, number 19, Cam Ransom, true freshman. He's filling in for Justin Tomlin, who's out the first couple of games due to an academic issue. They are expecting to get him back next week. Chad Lunsford said that Justin Tomlin has done everything they've asked as he works his way back. Ransom running the option play, keeps it, and will pick up a couple, but a good tackle by Jordan Helm.
And that's a keep him honest play, right? You know, he can run the ball, but his strength is putting it in the air and pushing it down the field a little bit. Big kid, strong, bright future ahead of him.
We may also see Amari Jones once again today at quarterback for Georgia Southern. Jones started the game last week, but he's more of a runner. And as mentioned, Ransom more of a passer. But this team is all about the run. There's a late flag there as a helmet comes off. Georgia Southern ran for 365 yards last week against Gardner-Webb.
Got our first look at Amari Jones there.
And running the football, and he was the one who had his helmet ripped off.
Personal foul, face mask, number 4 on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Ed Ardito, our referee today, and TJ Young was the one that gets his face mask, number 4. blatant.
I mean, that's just undisciplined. I mean, you're out and open. You're not in a scrum. You're literally the last guy in a pile. I mean, did you think no one was going to see that?
The umpire was right there, and T.J. Young, he looked surprised. Another positive run for Jones, who on this drive is being used as a setback instead of a quarterback. Last week had 19 carries for 98 yards, over 5 yards a pop for the Tulane transfer.
Such a versatile guy. You got to find ways to keep him on the field.
And there he goes again, falling forward about a half yard short of the first down.
But that was 2.5, 3 yards after contact right there. So he's much stronger than his frame would appear at only 195 pounds. I say that as a 245-pound man. But only 195 pounds. The kid runs very, very tough.
They'll use a bunch of different running backs. We talked about Logan Wright at the outset. Jalen White is in there right now. He gets the carry. He gets hit. I'm not sure he's got enough for a first down. They are going to stop the clock. They are going to move the chains. So he didn't pick up much, but they didn't need much.
That was a stout effort inside.
First and 10 for Chad Lunsford. Again, they only needed about a half yard. It was Antarius Moultrie who made the initial hit, but it looked like White was able to muster enough.
And squirm his way up outside the pile to get the extra yards that he needed.
Georgia Southern staff told us they want to use White more. Only 4 carries last week. Jones gets the screen pass. And he's taken down by T.J. Young, but not after he picks up 5.
Talk about being selfless, and you watch the Georgia Southern receivers outside, the way they're blocking, running their feet, trying to help.
Option play again, and again it's a keeper. First down for Cam Ransom. Ransom last week completed his first 7 passes, but then just 1 for 6 the rest of the way. And Chad Lunsford was saying, even though Justin Tomlin's coming back next week, he wants Ransom to make the decision difficult. Wants him to perform well this week and make his decision difficult.
I mean, if all things are equal, you go with the younger guy because you'll have him for more time.
There's Jalen White showing us why they want to give him more touches on offense. First down run to the 35-yard line. Pickup of 12.
And really talking with Coach Ruse, the offensive coordinator, they're comfortable with any of the guys back in the backfield going in there, but they all run with power. They're explosive. Some may have a little more speed than others, but they all hit the hole hard. There's no pretty stuff going around when they're carrying the rock.
Ransom will pull it. He looked deep originally, now under duress, and he one-hops it to the intended receiver.
And that's a win-win, right? You wanted to take a shot play, you didn't like it, he didn't just throw it up. If you're Georgia Southern, that's a win-win by your young quarterback. Now, you'd like to see him get off of that first read earlier and maybe find another open receiver, but he didn't turn it over.
Emil Smith was the intended receiver. Second down and 10 for the Georgia Southern Eagles out of the Sun Belt. 2-0 against Conference USA competition last season. Beat FAU and then Louisiana Tech in the bowl game. Ransom will pull it, make a man miss, and dive down close to a first down. He'll be a yard short, 3rd and 1.
They do a nice job of really spreading out the defense. See just 5 hats in the box, 6 hats in the box, and everyone accounted for. Had one player the quarterback has to make miss. There you see, and he makes a miss right there.
And Kiki Leroy got the old Ole from Cam Ransom.
So there, he's just counting heads in the box there.
And looks like it should be enough for yet another first down. They keep getting 3rd and short. And when you're Playing Georgia Southern, it's going to be tough to stop them. We had Air Force last week, another team that if they get it to 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, it's really tough to stop a running team like this on short yardage situations.
Tough to stop, but you offensively, it just kind of guts you, right? You're sitting over on the sideline. You have to value every possession you get, every opportunity you get to move the ball on offense. If you're FAU, you've got to do a great job of hanging on to the ball because you don't know when you're going to see it again.
Ransom pulled forward, pick up 3 yards on first down as we tick under 4 minutes already in this first quarter. FAU got it into Georgia Southern territory down near the 35-yard line, but a sack on 3rd down took them well out of field goal range. And Georgia Southern, beginning on its own 5-yard line, has marched it all the way down near the red zone here. Logan Wright now in the backfield to Ransom's right. He gets the call. Up the middle, big hole. Inside the 10, touchdown Eagles. Career game last week, off to a great start this week.
Talked about him not being the guy that's going to win all the foot races in the world, but his strength and power and his anticipation, right? His vision. He's extremely strong, and you know, we're talking off air, partner. I was like, he reminds me of Frank Gore, the way he runs. He reminds me of Frank Gore. Strong, physical, great vision, very, very tough back.
And now Britton Williams, the true freshman who won Sun Belt Special Teams Player of the Week last week, missed it, but looked like there was, no, it's no good. Thought there might have been a flag before the snap, but Williams, after a great start to his career, he was 3 for 3 last week, kicking field goals with a long of 49. So all they get is 6 big ones from Logan Wright, 22-yard touchdown. 6-0 Georgia Southern here at FAU. Logan Wright, 22-yard touchdown run. They missed the extra point. During today's game, you have a chance to get in the action and vote for our fan of the game. Just go on Twitter @Stadium or scan the QR code that we're going to put up on the screen, and you'll be directed to the Flow Code website to vote there. The candidate's fan number 1 is the young woman there in the red in the middle with the white t-shirt in her hands. Fan number 2 is the guy with the big A on his chest. And fan number 3 is the girl that I believe is turned around right now. A lot of students here today. Hope they stay the whole game and hope they stay hydrated, because we know how those tailgates work, Sid. I mean, if you're pounding adult soda pops out in 100-degree heat and then you stop drinking for a little bit, you crash.
You do. Hopefully it was a lot of Gatorade and water and not the adult pops.
Wishful thinking. This would take it into the 4-yard line. Returnable once again to Marcus Adams to the 25. FAU took its opening drive down to the 35-yard line, but couldn't turn it into points, just like last week against Florida in the first half. See if they can get on the board here, down 6-0 on a hot one in Boca. 6-0 Georgia Southern here on Stadium. The best way to watch is to download the Stadium app. Use the QR code on your screen to watch Stadium, the only 24/7 network available on both television and digital devices without a cable subscription. Chris Hasselset Bonner with you on a scorching day here in Boca, South Florida, just a few miles from the Atlantic Ocean. And everybody out there is sweating today. First play of the second drive of the game for FAU. And a run right up the gut and get him some positive yardage. That is Malcolm Davidson. Had 52 yards on the ground against Florida. Pickup of 6 on first down.
I think that's a little something more you need to do is when you talk about a big physical front, you need to bring out the big back and bat around. Right downhill, right down the middle at them. Don't try to go wide. They're too athletic at the linebacker position.
Now to the near side. That pass is caught. That's Javian Posey, who Could have gotten flagged there for a little swing at the defender. Posey played quarterback last season for FAU. They want to get him the ball a lot more. Willie Taggart saying he's our slash player. Says he can't stand looking at him when he's on the bench because he's got to be out there. He's on the bench for this one, though.
Third and short. I mean, you've got your choice in the playbook here, but up front, you've got to come off the ball and execute.
On 3rd and 1, that'll be enough for the first down and then some. Davidson to midfield.
Much needed. This is good work up front. Good penetration, but double teams, big tight ends in the game, doing a great job. Outside, Zyron Mitchell. Payton was doing a nice job, and I mean that's a booster right there when you can run right at him.
They had -3 rushing yards on their opening drive. Already 21 on this drive. Handoff once again, and Davidson falling forward into Georgia Southern territory. Give him 4.
They're having a hard time with Davidson pounding. And you go back to Johnny Ford, he gives up a few pounds. Davidson's 220 pounds running downhill. Tough guy to bring down.
Trips near side. Another handoff. Oh, nicely done in the backfield. Johnny Ford made a couple of men miss. Chaz Neal, the right tackle, lost his helmet.
It looked like it was onside kicked over there. Like
yeah, that thing shot off his head.
It literally rolled 20 yards.
Yeah, it almost ended up all the way on the Georgia Southern sideline. So he's got to come out for a play. 3rd down and 1 once again for FAU. They go strong side left. They'll run it left. Ford taken down in the backfield by Tyler Bride.
And that's where, if you're Georgia Southern, you don't care which one of your backs is in the game. Those guys know how to get downhill. If you're the Owls, you got to put your big back in. In that situation, you got all that heavy in there. You got the heavy personnel, 3 tight ends and a fullback. You got to bring your pounder in there.
And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. Georgia Southern only touched the ball once. They took it 95 yards for a touchdown. 6-0 Georgia Southern on the 22-yard touchdown run by Logan Wright. I hope they brought the sunscreen today, as these students are getting scorched out there, but showing up for their team. FAU down 6-0 here as we get set to start the second. FAU, Georgia Southern fans, which one of you is the most spirited fan base? Time for you to show your true team colors right now. Represent your school. Scan that QR code on the screen. Going to be directed to the Flow Code website and vote for your fan base. Some Georgia Southern fans making the quick hour-long flight down here, just north of Fort Lauderdale in Boca. That one on 4th down is batted down. FAU goes for it, and the Georgia Southern defense holds firm again. 2 drives inside Eagle territory and no points.
And again, when you're big-time quarterback, you've got to be able to read coverage, put your eyes in that corner, get it done. The Eagles get them off the field, defense. Welcome back. Georgia Southern 6, FAU 0. Let's take a look at how Georgia Southern got him off the field. You want to take a look up top. You see the field corner coming in. As a quarterback, you read anytime you have anything going out breaking route, you read that field corner. You throw the ball right over his head outside to your outside receiver. It's a simple completion, a simple read, but he missed it from the get-go. Never saw the guy. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
Yeah, that Willie Taggart is talking with Nkosi Perry about that right now. So Georgia Southern takes over. And it's going to be a negative play. FAU defense all over it as Jalen White loses 5 yards. That's Evan Anderson, old Big Daddy, the nose tackle. They say he's down to 330 now. Came in at 365 last year. He gets all the way into the backfield to clean that up.
This is just great effort all around. Ryan Weingrad does a nice job of forcing the issue. Wasn't able to make a tackle, but look at how many red shirts were back there in the backfield. And you could sense that they understand how important it is that they get Georgia Southern off the field here.
Well, that one's dropped. Emil Smith was going to have a first down catch, but couldn't pull it in. And now they're really up against it. 3rd down and 16.
And listen, that would have been a tough catch, but you got 2 hands on it. You're in space. You're open. You got to somehow try to bring that in on the road to continue to drive. And you got a chance to really make it hard for the home team by continuing another long drive. And now in unfamiliar territory with 3rd and long situation.
Ransom's just going to keep it and try to pick it up on the ground, and he will. He gets 20. And it's a first down, Georgia Southern at the 44-yard line of FAU. How does that happen? Ransom's hurt, grabbing the right lower leg close to the ankle. And they're already short a quarterback here with Justin Tomlin sitting out the first 2 games due to an academic issue. That's why we saw Amari Jones play quarterback some last week. Jones has been playing running back all game so far, but he might have to take the snaps if Ransom isn't okay. We'll be right back. Georgia Southern quarterback Cam Ransom picked up the first down on 3rd and long, but he's in the tent after rolling his ankle right here.
The good thing was it was a quick roll. It wasn't too bad, but he immediately grabs for it. And the thing about those, if you got to kind of keep it working, keep that leg going, keep it moving.
They're going to Sam Kennerson, redshirt freshman quarterback who hasn't played yet. And Kennerson on the option gets taken down by Antarius Moultrie. Minimal yardage there, might have gotten 1. Out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
That may be a situation where he wanted to get that pitch out there. If he shoots it outside, he's got a shot.
So 2nd and 9 from FAU's 44. Kennerson faked the pitch, kept it, stays on his feet. Look at him go down the sideline inside the 25. And there's an owl a bit slow to get up on that far sideline. That's Marcel Southall, the defensive end.
I mean, this option attack is so tough to stop. Look at that wall of white jerseys on the left side, and a chance for Antarius Moultrie to make the tackle. Comes up a little bit too high around the neck and shoulder area, and Kennerson says, I lift weights with my legs too. I'm running right through that tackle.
Southall doesn't look like he was hurt too bad. Jogged off himself. 1st and 10. And it's Amari Jones in that quarterback wildcat. He gets spun down and then finished off by Deshaun Moss. Cam Ransom remains on the sideline. Last week, Jones did put some in the air. He was 4 for 7 for 45 yards, but mostly a runner. He's a running back who played quarterback in high school. And Georgia Southern used him at the quarterback position for much of the game last week.
Well, he responded with 98 rushing yards and 14 carries.
Kennerson pulls it again. And he'll pick up a couple. But a pretty good job by that right side of the line from FAU to keep him contained. 3rd down and 5.
I mean, he showed some really good patience there. Kennerson did, running that option. He got patient, didn't have exactly what he wanted, but was able to find a hole and get some space.
Just the second offensive possession of the game for Georgia Southern. They scored a touchdown on the first drive, 95 yards, but missed the extra point. Caleb Hood in motion, and that is close to a first down, but a yard short for Kennerson. What do? 4th and 1.
Well, since we missed an extra point, I might be inclined to go for this.
And I think that's what's going to happen.
But I'm greedy, but this is good patience again. That's a tough spot. I thought he had about a half a yard more.
But Kennerson's got 2 running backs in the backfield now. Quick snap, and they'll get it up the middle. Logan Wright, who had that touchdown run, able to get to the 12.
And again, I would be inclined to go for it because you could turn around and give it to somebody 220 that you know he has the vision, and you got an offensive line that's experienced. You got one guy that's an underclassman, that's a freshman on that offensive line. You got a center that's got 31 straight starts. He's seen it all, done it all.
Another Florida Atlantic player is down ahead of the 10th play of this drive. Georgia Southern looking to put its first 2 drives in the end zone, up 6-0. Georgia Southern up 6-0 and in the red zone looking for more here on Stadium. Join us next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern Time for College Kickoff Live. Cam Smith, Michael Felder, and Will Blackman kicking off Stadium's coverage of football every Saturday. Stadium, welcome to the game. Cam Ransom is back after turning his ankle earlier in the drive. He'll take the snap, hand to Amari Jones, who is stopped at the 9.
And that's a good 3.5, 4-yard gain. They can get a first down at the 2-yard line, so they're still on schedule.
They can get a first down at the 2. Beg your pardon, that is still Sam Kennerson at quarterback as he keeps it. And then lost it. It's scooped up by FAU Owls football. They force a huge turnover. Jordan Helm on the recovery.
Tell you what, you go from really stepping in the game, doing a great job, and you just get a little careless with the ball handling. You get a little careless with the ball handling, but a great read. Watch him follow his back inside, but he doesn't tuck it, and right there it gets punched out by Achilles Leroy.
Yeah, Leroy with the big strip tackle. Did not play last season for FAU. But as we talked about at the top, they only lost 1 player off last year's team. They bring back almost everybody. Leighton McCarthy, the only one they lost to graduation. So 1st and 10 Owls. They've had 2 drives go into Georgia Southern territory, but just like last week against Florida, no points so far in the first half. Perry rolling and finding his big target. The tight end Zaire Mitchell Payton. First reception of the season.
And this is great action. You've come out and run on first down. See the nice wide zone look. Good fake. Accurate throw on the move.
Throwing against his body, not always easy.
No, that's a beautiful job of getting his shoulders squared and ready to throw it.
Play clock winding down under 5 now. Malcolm Davidson, the running back, to Perry's left. He gets the call. Right tackle pushed back. Stoned. Benz Josue. But there is a flag. And it came from the secondary.
Probably going to decline this if it's a hold. I don't know if you want to give him an extra down if it's.
Blocking below the waist, number 53 on the offense. 15-yard penalty, replay, first down.
It's Desmond Noel. He certainly doesn't agree with it.
And you just need to watch and see if somebody's engaged. Yeah, you can't dive when somebody's away from you. You've got to be within 2 steps.
Oh, that's a killer. First down. They take the penalty, so it's still first down. First and real long. Perry's going to look for a lot of it. Down the sideline, has a man. First down and more. That's the running back, Larry McCammon III.
Some nice wheel route. He's lined up in the pro spot off just behind the tackle. And just runs the wheel. That's an excellent route. See him hiding back there, and he comes out and he gets matched up with a linebacker, and there's no way he can run with him. Great throw right there.
Yeah, Randy Wade Jr. is a good linebacker, but not going to be able to run with Larry McCammon.
That's too much space. Too much space.
And again, a deep ball. This one to Adams, and he overshoots him.
That's good coverage.
There is a flag back behind the line of scrimmage over by the Georgia Southern sideline.
Illegal formation on the offense. More than 4 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty is declined. Second down.
All right, so they decline it. 2nd and 10 instead of 1st and 15. At the 49-yard line for this FAU offense that for 5.5 quarters now this season they've been able to move the ball, but they just haven't been able to score.
Well, it's just those little things that haunt you, right? You got to be able to finish, and now you're going to get a false start. Just these little things of staying solid, staying consistent, taking care of the little things. Don't allow yourself, if you're a quarterback, you know you guys need to get off and get moving. Don't allow the guys to stand up at the line of scrimmage too long. Get them out of there.
False start, offense, number 87. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
And Sire Mitchell Payton, who made that big first down reception, but that's his 2nd false start penalty. He had a penalty to start the game in the Swamp last week for Willie Taggart's team, and it was one of those unforced errors that he was talking about that they just have to clean up offensively.
Well, and the other thing is you've been on the field. It's hot. You're out there. I mean, it's really hot down on the field, but you got to somehow just stay composed and continue to grind it out mentally. That's where it's going to come from. They're all great athletes, but mentally, let's be strong and sharp.
Perry trying to get out of it, and now finally goes down. Justin Ellis was the first one through. It took a few guys, but Georgia Southern makes the stop, and it's another loss back to the 37.
It's a good fight, good job, but right here, I'd love to see him blow it dead, right? You'd hate to see somebody get hurt. Guys running in trying to put extra hats on them. They've been waiting all day to get a piece of them. Now they got them in their grasp, and you're letting them spin them around. You should blow that dead a little bit earlier. Tremendous effort up front.
Got a long way to go now. They have to get it down to the 41-yard line of Georgia Southern. And they're just going to run it here, and nothing doing. 3 drives, no points for FAU. 6-0 Eagles, as FAU has to punt it away.
And little things. You get the chop block or the illegal cut block after a big play, right? You get a couple big plays and then boom. You shoot yourself in the foot, and you just got to clean up the little things. Plays are there to be made, and the coaches can't play for you they can put you in position to make plays. You got to go out and do it yourself.
And another false start.
Offense, number 3. 5-yard penalty. Paynes. 4th down.
So back them up even more. Georgia Southern's going to have a little bit better field position. That's Larry McCammon. The punter Matt Habel, who one of the best punters in this conference. He's an Aussie. What college punter isn't an Aussie these days? Great kick. All the way inside the 15 and a fair catch at the 10-yard line by Caleb Hood. What a punt. And that's what you got to do, back them up. And here's the sack. Justin Ellis couldn't bring him down initially, but C.J. Wright finished the job. 6-0 Southern. Georgia Southern up 6-0. They'll start their drive 90 yards away at the 10-yard line with 6:26 to go here in the first half from Boca. Who's your fan of the game? You can vote right now. You scan the QR code we're putting up on the screen. You'll be directed to the Flow Code website. You can vote there. Fan number 1 is the guy with the A. Fan number 2 is, I guess is it a twofer? And both the girls in red. And fan number 3 is the girl in red in the middle.
Who looks like she's about had enough. You better
get
those votes in. I don't know if she'll be here by the next
week. Quick snap, and Ransom wasn't ready. I guess that's going to be a false start. Ransom was definitely not ready for that snap. We've seen Sam Kennerson in this game.
On the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So referee Ed Ardito. But Kennerson, who came into the game after Ransom hurt his ankle last drive, fumbled in the red zone, and FAU recovered. But now it's 1st and 15. Now, they didn't have any trouble in the first quarter starting from the 5-yard line. They went 95 yards for a score. The only score of the game, and then missed the extra point. Caleb Hood in motion. Handoff up the middle, and that is Logan Wright, who has the touchdown run.
It's really interesting to watch Georgia Southern run the ball. You know, a lot like the Air Force team which we had last week. They know their identity. They're not going to deviate. They'll throw you a couple bones here with some passes, but they want to hit you in the mouth and run the football.
Ransom will throw it, and it is almost intercepted. Boy, TJ Young was right there. Dangerous pass. Brings up 3rd and 12.
Watch this break on the ball, and he's staring at it the whole time. And he beats the receiver there. That's an excellent break.
Ransom now 1 for 4 through the air. The only reception was by a running back on a screen pass, Amari Jones.
Got to be looking for a quarterback draw here. Last time they were in the situation, they got it. He ran for 20.
FAU only sends 3. Ransom running on that bum ankle. Not going to get there this time. You can tell he's really slowed up after that ankle injury.
Yeah, just didn't have the explosion. Missed his slot receiver over the middle, sitting down in front of the sticks. Early on, a lot of traffic in front of him. He wasn't able to see it. But a good defensive stand and flipping the field with that terrific punt. Got a chance to get some tremendous field position.
Anthony Beck II, preseason punter of the year in the Sun Belt. And this one's a line drive. Taken at the 40. Running room for LeJontay Wester near and into Georgia Southern territory. So great starting field position for this FAU offense that needs to put some points on the board. Hey, Georgia Southern fans have been all over it with the QR code and the most spirited fan base. I mean, I get it. You're on the road. You're watching the game at home. But there's some FAU fans out there. Scan the code. You'll be directed to the Flow Code website and vote for your favorite fan base. Who's more spirited? Eagles fans or Owls fans?
Right now, Statesboro getting it done.
Now, they even brought the live mascot today on the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks, the bald eagle.
He was a big one, too.
Freedom, yes. Pretty cool. Here's Malcolm Davidson, who had some positive runs early. That time, no. Did he fumble it? The ball was out. Did it come out before he hit the ground? No signal from the officials just yet. Georgia Southern says they have it. But Davidson comes out of the pile with the ball, so FAU is going to keep it.
Ruling on the field, it was recovered by the offense. Second down.
So the ruling is a fumble, but a fumble recovered by Davidson. Let's take a look.
You're in traffic.
Oh, yeah, I think that ball was coming out.
It was ripped out.
And Davidson, boy, he had it underneath his knees. I don't know how he was able to come up with that. Quick pass is caught and a flag. That was Jalen Jackson on the coverage. And he might get flagged for pass interference.
Too good a coverage.
I don't know how Perry was able to sneak that one in there.
Pass interference. Defense, number 40. Ball will be placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Yeah, so it would have been 3rd and long. Instead, automatic first down. Take a look.
So you're running hitch routes, which is a short route, and what I don't like, what I saw from Perry there, is he took a quick bounce step backwards to go forward. You had a 5-yard route. You're waiting for the ball in shotgun, so that timing's so disruptive. As you saw, Jalen Jackson was there so early because he's late on that throw. Got to get the ball out of your hand quicker in the quick game.
First penalty of the game on Georgia Southern. It's a costly one, though. Instead of 3rd and long, it's 1st and 10. Perry over the middle, complete. First down. Oh, he lost it and then got it back. Oh, Wester playing with fire, but it's a first down to the 28.
This is a beautiful dig route coming right in your living room. He's going to run right by the middle linebacker. Another good throw. And good run after the catch. You got to secure that ball.
First and 10 as we tick to 4 minutes here in the first half. The running back McCammon to N'Kosi Perry's left. And now he goes out wide. Perry against a 4-man front finds McCammon, who vaults out of bounds after picking up close to 5 yards.
As bad as you want to push the ball down the field, if you don't like it, what's wrong with that on first down every single time? Right? That's a big play. That's a big running game play right there. 5 yards, nobody hurt. You make the defense run sideline to sideline. When you do that, you make them work.
And now FAU maybe burning that clock a little bit, trying to take as much off as possible and make this the last drive of the first half. Play clock down to 3. High snap, handoff. McCammon to the sideline. First down.
High snap and good job of bouncing outside, using his right free arm to push off of a defender. That's a nice run by McCammon.
And now into the red zone for the first time on this day. Under 3 minutes to go first half. Perry to throw. Pulls it and can't squeeze through. It's C.J. Wright once again.
Not the biggest guy, but that motor and power. Look at the use of the hands, violent hands And obviously the left guard there was looking for a little more help, or the center, Nick Weber, was looking for a little more help from his guard than he had received.
And 2nd and 15, loss of 5, 2 minutes to go in the first half. FAU has not attempted a field goal yet this season. Davidson off right tackle, gets it back inside the 20, but it'll be 3rd down and 12, and I think Georgia Southern just called a timeout. They did.
Timeout, Georgia Southern. That's their first.
So they want to preserve some of that clock for a drive at the end of this half themselves. Hey, don't forget Stadium has a couple more games tonight. This is the first of a triple header on Stadium. Coming up at 7 Eastern. New Mexico State travels to New Mexico. Great rivalry. Was a part of that a few years ago. And then it's Idaho State taking on Nevada at 10:30 Eastern time. Part of a triple header and a Mountain West double header tonight on Stadium.
152. 152.
Oh, look at that hoss. That is Georgia Southern nose tackle Gavin Adcock, who is not in, well, he's in uniform, but he's not playing today.
All right, sir.
He has a special talent that we are going to let you in on at halftime. The redshirt senior out of Watkinsville, Georgia. Stick around for that. 3rd and 12, Perry play action. Throws wide open, touchdown. John Mitchell. A complete breakdown by the Georgia Southern secondary.
This looks like a wide hide route where you start everything flow. Every piece of the flow goes away. But he actually comes from the back position and just wheels, and that's a... Again, what happened to Georgia Southern a week ago? Dirty Eyes got him in trouble on big plays. And right there, it happens again. They're not locked in.
And the extra point gives them the lead. Here's the blown coverage.
And that's just not communicating. You run 2 posts, and then you send your H-back out on the corner route. And there is nobody there.
You say dirty eyes. What do you mean by that?
Looking in the wrong spots. If you're supposed to be covering number 2, that's where you should be. If your eyes are supposed to be on number 3, that's where you should be. And likewise. So if you're not watching or paying attention to who you're supposed to be paying attention to, you can get in big trouble, as we just saw. And it cost them last week for a couple big plays as well against Gardner-Webb.
Georgia Southern was able to hang on 30-25, but not happy with the way they closed that game. They put together a great performance here the first, 25 minutes or so of this first half, but great drive from Florida Atlantic FAU. And they now have the lead. The only difference in this game, a missed extra point by the reigning Sun Belt Special Teams Player of the Week, Britton Williams, after the Georgia Southern touchdown in the first quarter. And this kick is going to be down to the end zone for a touchback. Georgia Southern will have it at the 25 with 1:45 to go here in the first half and 2 timeouts to work with. Appreciate you joining us here on Stadium. The best way to watch Stadium is by downloading the app, and you can do that by scanning that QR code right there. Stadium, the only 24/7 network available on both television and digital devices without a cable subscription. Of course, we've got live games, classic games, daily studio shows, bunch of original programming. Stadium, welcome to the game. All right, Georgia Southern hasn't been able to do anything through the air so far. Just 5 passing yards, 1 completion for Cam Ransom. Let's see what they do here with 1:45 to go in this first half. Amari Jones gets the handoff, but he is twirled down immediately by An FAU defender, that's Chase Lassiter, the redshirt junior from Orange Park, Florida.
It's a really good job and knife it in. You see him outside here at the Sam linebacker spot.
And now pressure, and boy, Cam Ransom, I feel like when he's gone to the air to a wide receiver, he's only looking Emil Smith's way. And he clearly is just not right after turning that ankle on the long first down run in the second quarter.
Yeah, he did not finish that throw. He couldn't step into it, right? You see him kind of hop off that right leg, and the ball's skipped 4 yards in front of an open receiver.
And now 3rd and 13. FAU trying to change the personnel late.
Timeout, FAU.
And they have to burn a timeout.
A 30-second timeout.
Their first timeout of the half.
Lucky they had 12 men on the field right there. 12th ran on.
Now this game turned when Sam Kenderson, the backup quarterback for Georgia Southern, fumbled the ball in the red zone. FAU kept him off the board after they could have taken a 2-possession lead, and then got a spark on a great drive near the end of the half, and the touchdown pass by N'Kosi Perry. Third and 13, and now if you're FAU, you're thinking we get a stop here. Maybe we can do something if we get some decent field position.
2 timeouts left, absolutely.
Got to get it to the 35. Ransom. Boy, he backed up on that throw. There's also a flag that came late. And the flag is at the line of scrimmage.
Maybe a hold, it looks like.
Holding. Offense, number 51. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
And Georgia Southern's going to have to punt it away.
There's no choice but to punt it. There, you see, he gets. I mean, that was a bull rush up front by Chris Jones. Catches the left guard off balance, and he tackles him.
Anthony Beck to punt it. LaJohntay Wester standing at his own 40-yard line, hoping to get a return for FAU. Beck goes down. There is a flag. Fair catch close to the 30. Question is it running into the kicker or roughing the kicker? If it's roughing, it's a first down.
This is going to be the real deal. However, it's very
I think
close.
It's a 5-yarder set. It looks like he's talking to Chad Lunsford.
You don't throw the flag 15 feet in the air if it's just a running into, right? You just kind of drop it.
Well, I think it is based on the hand signals there, and he was asking Coach Lunsford if he wanted to decline it. I mean, clearly, if it's roughing, you take
into
it.
The kicker. Defense. Penalty is declined. First down. Give my flag.
I mean, I don't know if this is running into. He's getting blocked at the same time. But that's, to me, that's.
Yeah, usually if you hit the leg that's up in
roughing.
the air, it's running into. If you hit the plant leg, it's roughing. But that was Kiki Leroy, who I think maybe got a little bit lucky there.
He got very lucky. The way he twirled the flag up about 15 yards straight up in the air, I thought that for sure was going to be the max.
How about Anthony
penalty.
Beck's hair? I mean, that's like a mohawk mullet, a mohawk. Said
He looks like a Viking.
Silent.
Viking king right there. Look at him.
He's got the goatee going too.
The gold goatee, the gold mullet.
All right, 1st and 10 FAU, 1:06 to go here first half. They have 2 timeouts. Quick toss, complete, out of bounds. It was John Mitchell who made the touchdown reception last drive. Second down and 5. And Perry kept it, and that was a mistake. And I'm a bit surprised. I thought FAU might just let the clock run. They call a timeout ahead of a third down.
It'll be a 30-second timeout.
Now, faith in a quarterback. This is the grad transfer, N'Kosi Perry from Miami.
Well, the one thing you can do there is take sacks, right? You've got timeouts, but you don't want to use them because you have to take a sack.
We've got a college football triple header today on Stadium. A couple of the Mountain West games coming up later. Coming up next week, Friday at 9 Eastern. Got some high school football. A pair of Utah's top teams, nationally ranked Corner Canyon taking on rival American Fork in a battle of unbeatens on Stadium. Your place to catch America's top recruits. Welcome to the game. On third down, that'll be a run and a fumble. But FAU keeps it, and it'll be a first down. N'Kosi Perry was able to bail out his running back.
Following the run, right? You hand it off, and he's following it, staying with him down the field. Jumps on to recover.
Boy, the ball bouncing FAU's way today. They've had a couple of those where they've lost it and been able to get back on it. Perry slings it over the middle, complete. Inside the 40 to the 34-yard line. That's Wester. Right at the edge of field goal range with 10 seconds to go and a timeout. Perry spikes it with 8. And now you can run one more play if you want to because you have that timeout.
I'm coming back with that double post with the corner behind it. They didn't cover it. They weren't close to covering it. He likes to throw that deep in route. It's a good throw, solid throw. Look at that, right behind the linebacker's ear, right on target to the in-breaking route. He's very comfortable with that throw.
Willie Taggart in the ear of his quarterback, Perry, who has 2 years of eligibility left. They just did not have this kind of weapon, this kind of, they had running threats at quarterback last year. They did not have any passing threats. And now 8 seconds left. One more play to try to get a little bit closer into field goal range. Perry over the middle, complete. Gets down with 2 seconds. And a timeout, FAU. Beautifully executed.
You're seeing a high cover 2, a soft cover two from Georgia Southern, and watch him come down and wrap right behind the linebacker, and he hits him right in stride, right in that pocket. Great throw.
Wester.
Great clock management down the stretch here as well.
And now Aaron Sherrieri is out to attempt the first field goal of the season for FAU. Georgia Southern has a couple of timeouts left. FAU just used their last timeout. Sherrieri, 3 for 3 PATs this season. Last year the kicker was Vladimir Rivas. But this to try to give him a little bit of a cushion. Up by 1. In what will be the last play of the half. You see Willie Taggart Jr. there, giving the kicker some dap. Willie Jr., the son of Willie Taggart, one of 10 father-son combos in FBS play. Played some last season, and Willie Sr. says he really grew up in the offseason, put on some weight, made a bunch of new friends. He just felt like he was all alone kind of last season. The coach's kid, didn't know anybody coming in here, but
well, that comes with its own stigma as well, right? The coach's kid, right? You're getting special treatment because you're the coach's kid.
Timeout, Georgia Southern. That's their second.
Georgia Southern uses their second timeout. They do have one more timeout left. Attempting to freeze a kicker on a day where it feels like 100. But you can't take them with you into the halftime break.
And that's exactly
the second half.
That's exactly what Coach Lunsford's thinking. Why not? They don't roll over.
It's been a game of complete opposites. FAU's done it all through the air. out throwing Georgia Southern 102-5. Georgia Southern has done it on the ground, 128 yards on the ground to FAU's 19. But the Owls are going to have the lead going into halftime, barring a disaster here. Will they lead by 1 or by 4? Aaron Sherrieri knocks it through. And FAU scores 10 points in the final couple minutes of the first half to take a 10-6 lead into the break. And if you're a Georgia Southern fan, I think you got to be really concerned, because Cam Ransom, after turning his ankle, is not the quarterback he was to start this game.
No, and where's the confidence in Kennerson as well, right? He had a nice drive going, did some good things, and fumbled the ball going in. Where's his head for the second half if have to play?
Things have turned here in Boca. After jumping out to a 6-0 lead, the Eagles are down 10-6 at the break. Yeah, FAU's been able to defend Paradise, looking for their 9th consecutive home win dating back to October of 2019. They have a 10-6 lead, and they get set to kick it away to Georgia Southern to start this second half. Willie Taggart lost the opener at Florida, but an offensive spark at the end of the half. N'Kosi Perry, meantime, has been very efficient through the air. 12 for 15, 163 yards and a touchdown. That's what Georgia Southern has not had in this game, any kind of a passing attack. And the kick through the end zone, touchback on this extremely hot day. The shadows are starting to creep across the field, which is good news for the players, because they're not used to playing day games here in South Florida so early in the season. But here on September the 11th, 2021, this is the first of a triple header here on Stadium. New Mexico State, New Mexico up next at 7 Eastern, followed by Idaho State and Nevada. Glad to have you with us,
partner. And if you haven't seen Carson Strong from Nevada,
I haven't
outstanding
yet. Okay.
Quarterback, 6'5", 220, can throw it.
And look at the quarterback change we get to start the second half here. It's going to be Sam Kennerson, and I think this is probably the right move, because Cam Ransom was just not effective after that ankle injury. Amari Jones getting the carry. He played some quarterback last week, but mostly just a wildcat type quarterback. I think we both agree with head coach Chad Lunsford in putting in Sam Kennerson here to start the half.
Absolutely. I thought he had some great plays. He had one mistake in the half. It cost him.
It was a big mistake.
It was a big mistake. However, he was able to move the ball. Does a really nice job of reading and running the option.
Couple of Owls injured, Antarius Moultrie and Caleb Bryce on the first play of the second half. So it looks like we're going to see a little bit more from Eddie Williams, the inside linebacker, reserve inside linebacker for FAU. And after the gain of 3 on first down, it's 2nd and 7 for Georgia Southern. Fake left, run the option. Got a good block from that right side of the line, but there he was, Eddie Williams, making that stop.
Right out of the gates. You understand, you come in the game ready to play and ready to make tackles. That's a great job scraping over the top and finishing.
Quick snap on 3rd down and short. It is complete, but not close to a first down, or not enough, I should say. It's somewhat close, but a good 1.5 yards short. And it looks like a 3 and out for Georgia Southern.
And again, you have to read the flat defender. If the flat defender is a cover 2 corner, you can't just throw an out route out there and not know where he is. Fortunate to get that completion. And how about Amari Jones with the hands right there? Shows you exactly how versatile he was with that catch.
Anthony Beck to punt it again. And another low one. Run up on, and boy, taken down immediately. That was a good job in the open field on the tackle by Najee Thompson, the wide receiver, or that could have been a good return. FAU ball when we come back. (10-6) FAU with the lead, and they have the football here early going third quarter. And we let you vote for our fan of the game using the QR code that we put up on the screen, and the winner is, drum roll.
I'm just free doing it here. Let's go.
Both of them?
Yes.
Okay, both those fans in the middle are our fans of the game. A good run on first down by Larry McCammon, picks up 7.
Worst circle in the history of circles.
Well,
we'll work on some circles.
we tried.
Terrible. Terrible. Charles Barkley would be calling me terrible. Terrible.
Second down, and we'll call it 4. You get the sense that if FAU can put it in the end zone on this drive, it's going to be real tough for Georgia Southern, not having any kind of a passing attack as of yet in this game. Just 5 passing yards total. Draw play, big hole. Johnny Ford. Not that it mattered who it was. Anybody could have done that.
Yeah, this is well done here. See the nice action up front. Locking down all the linebackers. He's one-on-one on the safety before you know it. But they widen the defense out. Got your tight end wide. Come back to it again.
Why not? Another huge hole for Ford.
There's nothing wrong with running a play again quickly. If you've got success, there's nothing wrong with going back to it.
8-yard gain on the play.
Now you got to be alert if you're Georgia Southern for the play action off of that. That's coming out of a 2-back set. Play action. Maybe take a shot to the post.
Second down and 2. Under center, N'Kosi Perry goes once again with an offset eye.
As those safeties start to creep up. And here it comes.
Play fake, going long down the seam. Touchdown!
Great ball.
Jaquan Burton.
Wow. When he first throws his ball, I thought there was no way, but I knew it was coming. Nice play pass. He stands in there, puts plenty air on it. Look at that thing drop out, like it's dropping out of the sky. And that's the way you turn over a D ball right there. That is beautiful.
And this is what they just didn't have last season. Well, they told us during the week they thought that they could exploit this cover 4 and beat them over the top. N'Kosi Perry and Jaquan Burton hook up for the touchdown, and it's 17 straight for the Owls. Watch him go, Sid.
This is a beautiful throw and catch, and look at that, run it down full speed to the house.
Number 46, Aaron Sherrierion taking off for FAU.
So we get set for the kickoff here after the electrifying bomb.
All right, 17-6 FAU with the lead. 11:28 to go here in the third quarter with Ced Bonner. I'm Chris Hassel. And well, it's judgment time now for Georgia Southern. You had a 6-0 lead. You had a chance to go up big early. You fumbled the ball. It's been all downhill since then. You haven't had any kind of passing attack. What do you do?
You're going to have to make some throws. However, two possession game, you can keep running your offense, right? There's still plenty of time. Keep running your offense. Don't panic. Don't feel like you got to go out and throw every down. But you are going to have to complete a couple passes.
They complete that one out of the backfield. Amari Jones gets the sideline and shoved out at the 43-yard line. Good start to the drive.
And that's just what the doctor orders for you, right? Doesn't have to be a long pass, but you've got to complete some things to loosen them up front. And you force the bigs. Look at the bigs having to run up and down the field. Force those guys to work a little bit extra.
Pass completion of the game for Georgia Southern. They had just 7 yards through the air before that. Kennerson has to eat it.
And that's where his inexperience comes into play here. Right, he's not ready. This has to go now. Pitch it. Right, you see it all the time in option football. But it's kind of a counter option attack, but he's got to be ready, and he is a little too casual coming out of the gate. That's a great job of coming downhill, bringing heat to him by Carell Smith.
Smith, a guy that Willie Taggart says is going to be a great coach someday. The coach of this defense. Kennerson taken down by Helm. And it's 3rd and long. They're behind the chains, 3rd and 13. Third and 13 for Sam Kennerson, the redshirt freshman, 3rd different quarterback to see action for Georgia Southern this season. They're waiting for Justin Tomlin to come back. Out the first 2 games due to an academic issue. Kennerson's going to try to get it with his feet. And Helm buries him 5 yards short of the first down marker. And the punt unit is out again.
He has receivers open down the middle of the field, but once he tucks it, he doesn't keep his eyes upfield. Like, he wants to go and get yards with his legs. If he just keeps his eyes downfield, he's got a chance to at least put one up, give his guys a chance.
Anthony Beck once again to punt it. Gets more air under this one. Fair catch at the 13-yard line from LeJontay Wester. And this FAU offense, which has scored on each of its last 3 drives, is back out there. They've gone touchdown, field goal, touchdown. And N'Kosi Perry starting to rack up the numbers. He's 14 for 18, 242 yards and a couple of touchdowns.
After the way he started, I was hard on him early for a couple mistakes, missed reads, but he has been special and just continued to play. As hot as the Eagles defense came out, putting hats on him every play, making it tough. He's just grounded out, and now it's turning into a very efficient day for him.
From the edge of the shadows, he pulls it, throws it, complete, and pick up a 10 on first down. That's Javion Posey. And FAU firmly in control now after playing from behind the entire first half.
And you get the sense Georgia Southern, as hard as they're playing, they've been on the field a long time, that defense has.
Posey comes in motion. It's a handoff. Oh, Ford just going backwards. I mean, he's got some moves, but I think the coaches are going to be in his ear after this week, saying more north and south, young man.
Every play is not a home run, right? You can't expect to get a home run on every play. Just take your two, and then you're going to pop one. You just can't try to force the issue by bouncing and putting your team behind the sticks.
So they pick up 9.5 on first down, but then lose a few yards. 3rd down and 3. Double clutch complete. Again, it's Wester.
And unfortunately for the Eagles, your coach can't put you in a better position to make a play. And instead of knocking the ball down, you try to run by for the pick, and you don't get to make the play at all.
Quick snap, handoff, McCammon trying to find the way through the hole. Somebody grabbed his jersey from behind and brought him down after a pickup of 4.
It's a tough run.
Yeah, it's been yards on the ground have been tough to come by for FAU in this game. 22 carries, 57 yards. Nobody is over the 30-yard mark for the game. They've moved it on offense thanks to N'Kosi Perry's arm. Second and 6, trips far side. No receivers down here to the near side. Quick handoff up the middle. And that's going to be a first down once again. Johnny Ford. There was north and south.
That's more like it. You hit the hole, you get what you get. You know, sometimes backs want it to be the home run play. Doesn't work like that. You got to grind it and grind it. He does an excellent job right there, just hitting the hole and trying to get downhill.
And using that play clock now. Under 6 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. And that one's caught. Another first down. John Mitchell, who had the touchdown in the first half. Looked like he had a little bit of trouble bringing it in, but didn't drop it.
He did. That's thrown right in the face of the blitz. You've got your hot guy right in front of you. Saw Tom Brady and Gronk do that so well the other night. That's a great throw and catch. When teams want to blitz you, they're going to leave somebody or leave a gap, and you got to exploit that. They do a nice job of doing just that.
On first down, another hole. There goes Ford. Spins through, and he's inside the 20. Shoestring touchdown saving tackle.
That's a great job. That offensive line now, the heat, and just the amount of plays and the work that they've had to put out on Georgia Southern's D-line right now. It's starting to wear on them. Up front, the Owls are taking it to him right now.
He gets a breather. Fake the handoff. Perry, wheel route. Incomplete. It was intended for John Mitchell.
It's a great route by John Mitchell, but he could have thrown his post route. You know, most time you have those wheels, you run something through the middle of the field. He could have possibly thrown the post route complete for an easier score.
After the incompletion, 2nd and 10, the home opener for FAU after losing on the road at the Swamp. 35-14, looking for their first victory of the season, and that one was too high. It's intended for Zaire Mitchell-Payton, who's 6'5", but that one was dangerous.
He gets up high on his toes and tries to go over the top of the defender that's in his face, but it just has to come out quicker, right? It doesn't have to go down the field, but while he's in that bubble, you got to try and put the ball on his chest.
And if Georgia Southern could get a stop here, hold them to a field goal, even if they make it, it would just be a 2-touchdown game.
Substitution infraction. 12 men on the field for the offense. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
12 men on the field is the penalty, so 3rd and 15 now. Willie Taggart has everybody over on the sideline like it's a timeout. The line judge is saying, all right, play clock's moving.
They'll let him come out to the numbers. That's about as far as they can go.
Taggart hasn't lost a game here in Boca. His 2nd season with the Owls. Touch pass. Touchdown. Zaire Mitchell-Payton hauled it in. Georgia Southern is saying no, but the signal was touchdown. Payton comes out of there with it. Mitchell-Payton. Let's take a look.
Watch the teardrop on this thing. Talk about dropping it in the bucket. I mean, that's as about a high level throw as you can get right there. A lot of guys drive the ball when they're trying to throw deep, but man, to be able to drop it in the bucket, that is an exceptional throw by N'Kosi Perry.
His 3rd touchdown pass of the game. And he is putting some folks on notice. Extra point is good. FAU picked 2nd in the Conference USA East Division behind Marshall. They get that kind of quarterback play, they are going to be a real contender in Conference USA this season for Willie Taggart. 24 unanswered. That FAU sideline is juiced. They've scored 24 straight, and the offense has scored on 4 straight possessions. The latest, a touchdown pass from N'Kosi Perry to Zaire Mitchell-Payton. The 3rd touchdown pass for Perry in this game.
Just stayed calm and stayed with it. They looked in trouble. They were on the ropes until that fumble.
Yeah, Georgia Southern had the ball marching down the field in the red zone, up 6-0, and then the fumble turned everything around. And obviously the injury to Cam Ransom, the quarterback, who tried to play through the ankle injury and just was not effective.
Absolutely, but that energy level.
I saw maybe one of the best flops I've ever seen. I'm surprised the young man wasn't flagged for flopping. That was
too much Euro basketball right there, man.
I think that was Tyreek Tisdale, the running back, that flopped.
Too much.
Our producer John Claybrook says he just pulled a LeBron James.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, still.
That's anybody in the NBA nowadays, right?
And anybody Harden, on the soccer pitch.
Yep, James Harden, any of those dudes. You breathe on them and they're going to do a backflip.
Look at those so total yards said 404 to 162.
And it wasn't that. I mean, they were up 90 yards in the second and coming into the second half.
I mean, it was all Georgia Southern for the first quarter and a half of this game. Sam Kennerson is still in there at quarterback, and they still can't get anything going. Gerald Green got the call. No gain. That's the man they call Kiki Leroy.
Did a nice job filling that hole and shutting it down. Didn't get the tackle for loss, but didn't give up much.
Willie Taggart was saying that the team has so much experience. They only lost 1 player from last year, and so many of these guys were here when they won Conference USA championship. And some of them were here for both Conference USA championships. As Kennerson throws an interception. I don't know who he was looking for, but he threw it right to Carell Smith. didn't see a white shirt within 5 yards of him.
Well, there was one out there, but he was on the sideline running a comeback route.
And here comes the defensive celebration now, like they do in the NFL. Penalty flags all over the place.
Excess celebration on FAU. It's a 15-yard dead ball foul, and it's a first down.
You can do it in the NFL. You can't in college yet.
They obviously hadn't got word, but he loses this ball inside, comes off his pinky. And even if that doesn't happen, he's got 2 receivers outside, but he doesn't get his body aligned properly to make the throw. And just a bad throw. And here's the other thing. Why not just run off the field? It wasn't a spectacular play that you just made, right?
Well, here's my question. You're seeing it every Sunday in the NFL.
You didn't just run through and take a ball from somebody. You were standing in a zone covering no one.
Do you think that they thought that they could do this because they're seeing it in the NFL and it's not penalized?
Well, they know they can't do that.
Okay.
But they do see it in the NFL.
I don't see any coaches running after him.
But, man, talk about the freest of all freebie interceptions. Yeah. Christmas gift early. Come on, man.
To finish my thought on what Willie Taggart was saying about the experience of this team, N'Kosi Perry, not one of these guys he was talking about, but pretty much everybody else. They were here when they won a Conference USA championship with Lane Kiffin. They were here when then they only won 5 games and missed a bowl game the following season. And then they were here when they came back the next season and won the Conference USA championship. So they know how to go from 5 wins to a Conference USA championship. And they won 5 games last season.
First down.
Back-to-back penalties. So you have the excessive celebration and then not enough time to set up. Well, Willie's not going to be happy with that penalty twofer.
And that's the maddening part about dealing with young men, right? From one play to the next, can you keep them locked in strong enough to go out on every play, right? That's the great teams can keep their guys locked in.
Boy, just huge holes to run through. Larry McCammon down close to the 30-yard line.
We got a Georgia Southern player down. And I'm hoping it's a cramp the way he's grabbing his leg.
That's Darrell Baker Jr., who made a couple big plays early in this game.
Get a look at this big hole. Look at the lineman getting up to. Look how many linemen and tight end are up on the second level. That's an exceptional job. Of offensive line play, especially late in this game, as they're trying to continue to grind this thing out. They're just playing.
And you wonder what kind of role the Heat's going to play here as we get close to the 4th quarter. This game started at 3:30 local time. Temperature was about 88 degrees. The feels like temperature, though, was about 100. And it still is. Typical day here this time of the year in South Florida, but it's tough to play a football game in this weather.
That's where you hope your depth is where it needs to be, right? So you can get guys in and out of the lineup, and guys don't have to play excessive amount of plays.
So 1st and 10, 31-yard line. Play fake. Perry looking for his 4th touchdown. Pump fake, and then he's taken down from behind. A.J. Watkins with the sack.
And listen, I know he gets sacked here, but that's a good decision. There were players deep in the area he wanted to go to. He wanted to throw the curl route first. There's a linebacker between him and that curl. He pulled it down, and then he was going to chuck it up deep. And then just pull, you got a big lead. Take your medicine and go on to the next play. That's a smart play.
Under 3 minutes now in this 3rd quarter. Next up for Florida Atlantic, they are at right here at home against Fordham, and then at Air Force, team we saw last week. There's the handoff to Posey. It's back to the original line of scrimmage, but a good open field tackle by Zion McGee.
Remember early on, they tried to get the ball to the edges against this defense, and they were pretty stout. And then because they were able to hit some passes, they were kind of to loosen them up and get what they want. But you see the linebacking core for the Eagles, these guys can flat out run. They get to the edge.
And now milking that play clock. Under 2 minutes here in the third. The snap with 3 on the play clock. Perry lets it go. Wide open man. Caught, but it is a touchdown. They'll say he's in bounds. The field judge says the foot was in for LeJontay Wester. But I don't know.
Yeah, this is going to probably come back. And again, what is going on with coverage? And we talked about the problems Georgia Southern had with their eyes, staring, getting into wrong spots.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That's coming back.
I mean, the field judge was right there, and he apparently must have thought that the foot was still down, but I don't think so.
Hey, partner, it's hot out there for him, too. He's not out there in that sun as well, right?
Heat's affecting everybody out there.
This isn't even close right here. And some of those throws that got away early, right? This is a throw that gets away early. You got a guy wide. You got a guy wide open. He's got to be. The heat's got to be getting to him right there.
That he had possession of the ball and one quick.
Oh, Mike's on. Yeah, this should be overturned.
Yeah. It's not close. Great design again, and how do you just continually get guys wide open? But he's not in bounds. This is out.
Yeah, the foot came up before that left foot, that toe came up off the turf. It looked like before he was able to corral it. Would have been the 4th passing touchdown of the game for N'Kosi Perry.
Well, that's where he's got to realize I've got a guy in space with nothing out there, right? I got a guy in space that I can get the ball out to. I don't have to make the perfect over the outside shoulder throw. I could just lead him back inside just a little bit. So we make sure we get that touchdown.
Referee is Ed Ardito, a replay official Adam Choate. Willie Taggart said he just feels so much better this season than last. Florida Atlantic had a tough start. Wow. Okay. I don't know about that, but FAU fans will take it. And look at Wester. Even he was surprised. Look at this, the sly smile from Willie.
Holy smokes.
I don't get it.
That's all I'm going to say.
I don't get it.
Okay, maybe they're saying because he touched the ball, but his feet, both feet are off the ground.
Yeah, he wasn't even making contact.
Both feet are off the ground when the ball touched his hands.
Well, I guess at least if you're a Georgia Southern fan, you're saying, I mean, it's the game's going the other way anyway.
Right. I not like it's going to have make a difference in the outcome, but feet off the ground when he brings the ball in, and then he's out of bounds. And when you say call stands, that means you agree with the first call that's made. When it touches his hands right here, it touches his hands. He has not completed the catch or brought it in. When he starts to do that, his left foot is off the ground. Boom. Left foot off the ground.
And I think what they're going to say is the call on the field is where it's going to go. And there wasn't enough to overturn it, but I don't buy it. I don't buy that.
Number 46, Sherry Arion taking off for FAU. Number 6.
Steeler great right there. I mean, that guy was you want to talk about hard-nosed wide receiver that would go crack you in the mouth. That guy was as tough as they come. Great route runner, former quarterback. Played a lot of years and got some hardware.
31 unanswered now for FAU, and it is 4 touchdown passes for N'Kosi Perry, and this one's gotten out of hand after Georgia Southern controlled almost the entire first half.
Wow, I'm still.
Personal foul, face mask, number 2 on the kicking team. 15 yards, tacked on to the end of the run, first down.
The penalty on Kiki Leroy. And FAU's had some big penalties in this game. That's now 5 penalties for 55 yards. And N'Kosi Perry might be our player of the game today on Stadium, but you, the viewers, are going to have a chance to decide. It's either N'Kosi Perry or, on the other side, C.J. Wright, who has a sack and a half for the Georgia Southern defense, a defense that played really well for almost the entire first half of this game. Cam Ransom is back at quarterback. You'll be able to vote for a player of the game by scanning the QR code that we'll be putting on the screen.
Now, if you're Coach Lutford, it's a gut check for your guys, right? Who's going to continue to work, grind, and fight in this game that you're most likely not going to win unless something crazy happens? Who's going to continue to fight?
Ransom loads up, and nice throw complete to Caleb Hood, who hasn't had as big of an impact as he had on the game last year between these two. Had a 49-yard punt return for a touchdown in this matchup.
Well, they haven't been able to get any of the receivers going, but you see quick throw, 2 quick throws marching down the field, and another quick throw.
This time he gets stuck by T.J. Young, and some words, some lip flap.
I'm just, it's exhausting. The vomit of the mouth by everybody on the field. Every game.
Like a high school coach.
In every game.
Like
I don't care what game it is. What a catch right there.
Holy smokes.
That is a big boy catch with tight coverage, with great coverage. I mean, first of all, this is a good throw in traffic. Steps into it, but look at that throw. Hands catch.
And Ransom completes another one. And more jawing.
When did we start allowing people to do the old flip the
I am surprised we haven't
slam.
seen any flags here, because this is the type of game where things can get out of hand if the officials don't step in. You see T.J. Young, one of those guys having the words.
I've not seen one person get away with that, like grabbing a guy, hog tying him, and then pick him up, slamming him. I've not seen one.
Yeah, usually that's a penalty.
At all.
Last play of the third quarter. Ransom. Boy, that one's caught. High pass, but hauled in by Derwin Burgess.
At the end of the third quarter.
And Georgia Southern is driving as we head to the other side of the field for the final quarter. 31 straight for FAU. Georgia Southern looking for a big comeback, but N'Kosi Perry, 4 passing touchdowns, including this beaut. (31-6) FAU. You, the viewer, have a chance to name our player of the game. Is it N'Kosi Perry on the right, 4 touchdown passes, or C.J. Wright, who's had a pretty good game defensively for Georgia Southern, especially in that first half, a sack and a half. Going to put up a QR code for you right now. Go ahead and scan that, and it will direct you to the website Flowcode to cast your vote. First play of the fourth quarter. From the 9-yard line, Cam Ransom short of the intended target. J.J. McAfee.
It's got him open. He just short arms the throw. We've seen him make three straight strong throws. And I believe this one going to his right. He's unable to really step into it. He's got that right ankle. That's an issue.
Second down and goal. 25-point game, so it is a 4-possession game. And a good tackle by Helm. They went out in the flat to Bo Johnson. Ahead of 3rd and goal. Want to thank everyone for voting on our fan poll. The most spirited fan base. Georgia Southern coming through in a big way on that one.
Blowout. They won that with a running clock, I think.
Credit to these FAU students who've been here the whole way with the sun beating down the whole time. The handoff on 3rd and goal, which may tell you it's 4-down territory. They were able to move down here because Cam Ransom completed several passes in a row, which is
and not easy passes, right? He made some nice throws in there, little middle read route.
That has not been easy today for Georgia Southern through the air and really on the ground. And they had 365 yards on the ground last week. FAU has done a pretty good job bottling them up. Haven't let them reach the 200-yard mark yet. On 4th and goal, Ransom in trouble. Rolling out. Going to try to run for it. And can't quite get there.
Ball's out. Ball's way out at the 15-yard line.
Doesn't matter who gets it. It's Florida Atlantic football. Ransom gave it all he had on that bum ankle, but lost the ball. He wouldn't have gotten in anyway, but they're going to lose some field position. Again, it's 4th down, so it doesn't matter who recovered the fumble, but it is FAU football.
I mean, this is guts right here. I mean, just watch the fight in this kid. He's playing on a bum ankle, and he's just trying to will his way in there. That's a really nice hit out there by Moutre. Dislodges the ball. But man, what a fight. He's going to definitely need the ice bath after this.
Yeah, will he ever?
Ankle, upper body, all of it.
Well, he's a true freshman, so hopefully he'll bounce back quickly. FAU football, the 19-yard line, and Georgia Southern has not scored since their opening possession of the game.
What a turnaround. We talked about the drive that they had going, 8 plays into the drive. They had a backup quarterback in the game. Kennerson doing a nice job, was running the offense, but they get down inside the 25-yard line, and he puts it on the turf. And since that moment, it's been all.
And N'Kosi Perry, boy, look at those numbers. 19 for 25, 332, and 4 touchdowns. Now, we're letting the fans vote for player of the game. Perry is one of the options, along with C.J. Wright on the Georgia Southern side. We hope the fans do the right thing, because N'Kosi Perry is clearly the player of the game.
Yeah, those numbers are ridiculous. He can shut it down right now, and it's in the bank.
Again, scan that QR code on your screen.
What I love about it is he had a couple misses early. You know, some easy throws to convert, to keep drives going. He missed on them, but he just continued to chop away and continue to fight. And then all of a sudden got in a groove, moving the pocket. Coach Johnson, Mike Johnson, doing a great job of getting him outside, moving the pocket, allowing him to use his strengths to throw on the run, and then he settled in and started dropping dimes.
Vote for player of the game on your phone by scanning that QR code. Willie Taggart was saying of N'Kosi Perry, he's our hope guy. And he certainly has to give FAU fans hope that they're going to be able to do some special things in Conference USA play this season. 31-6 early on in the 4th. All right, so the reason for the stoppage was they reviewed the play, and FAU is going to get it at the 2-yard line because, as you see, number 0, Jalen Joyner, was out of bounds when he made contact with that football and kicked it inadvertently down the sideline. So the ball is dead there, but it was 4th down. So it's FAU ball at the 2 instead of the 19-yard line where it was recovered.
Well, if you're Georgia Southern, you obviously want to look at that because playing defense here is a little bit different with space if you're FAU.
Going to hand it to the first man through, who was Larry McCammon, who was playing the fullback of sorts there.
It's just P11, little quick dive. It's a rarity. You don't see fullbacks. It's kind of like a unicorn sighting.
Yeah, very rare, especially college teams these days. But I do like how N'Kosi Perry's been under center a lot with the I formation and offset I backfields.
You know, Coach Johnson talked about being multiple, right? Multiple formations. They want to be dynamic in a bunch of different ways. And they're taking another shot.
Over the top. Almost intercepted. And they tried to go long for Jaquan Burton again. But good coverage. Good safety coverage from Georgia Southern. Not letting another one get over the top.
Really good coverage of staying home. Justin Birdsong. Well, that's one where you got to bring it down. Your team's down. You got to find a way to make that play.
3rd and 6. Toss play. Pile moving, and it is going to be a first down. Wow. How about the fight? Still going. Malcolm Davidson. Give him the day off at the squat rack this weekend. He just carried the whole defense.
Holy smokes. Turns into a rugby scrum. Typically on toss, you want to see him follow the outside back, but he just drives in there, and he has a defender riding on his back, literally. And he just takes him in. Justin Ellis was along for a long, long ride.
Kamar Bell, the Auburn transfer at right guard, fired up for that one. I mean, Georgia Southern would have gotten off the field. Make the tackle. Couldn't do it. Ford shifty again, lowers his shoulder, but a good sure tackle from Justin Birdsong, pickup of 1. Appreciate you joining us here on Stadium as we head into the evening here on the East Coast. Coming up top of the hour, 7 Eastern. Second game of our triple header, New Mexico State and New Mexico. Ari Wolf and Mike Lamb on the call. And then at 10:30 Eastern, Nevada will host Idaho State. Noah Kozlov and Jordan Palmer calling that one. With Seth Bonner, the Arena League great, I'm Chris Hassel. FAU looking real good these last couple quarters. And Ford again was sticking that foot in the ground, making a man miss. And he'll move the sticks again. Couple Mountain West games to close out the night here on Stadium. The battle for New Mexico and then Nevada. You got your eye on the quarterback in that one.
Carson Strong, big strong kid, lots of weapons outside. He'll go for about 300 today. Easy. He's that good.
Perry, play fake again.
Tight end's got to flatten it out. That's not a good job by his tight end. He let him down there. He's got to get across the field. You've got the flat. You've got an intermediate route, which should be your tight end. He did not get home. John Mitchell's got to get there for him.
Now Mitchell has had a good game. Touchdown catch earlier in this one. That'll be something to look at for this offense that looks good enough to compete at the highest level of Conference USA play this season. Last year, they just could not figure out a way into the end zone. And really, the first half of that Florida game was the same thing. They would move the ball, but couldn't get it into the end zone. Big strides on offense in this one.
to the tackle.
Ben's Jose is slow to get up. And we'll have a stoppage in the action with 9:54 to go. Perry, the first FAU quarterback to go over 300 yards in almost 2 years. Late in the season in 2019 when Lane Kiffin was still the head coach. He'll attend to Josue, and we'll step aside as well. All Owls. You can continue voting for player of the game, N'Kosi Perry, 332 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. Or if you're a Georgia Southern fan, or maybe
Just a football fan.
a football fan in general, I guess, you can vote for C.J. Wright, who has a sack and a half. Scan that QR code and join the voting process.
Not too late. C.J. Wright could come up and make a few plays here. Get on your good side.
I like the attitude, said. Perry hasn't had to do much with his feet.
Well, you're inferring that you don't have to do much when you have to step up and throw a ball, right? You got to move your feet, be in a
Well, I'm talking
right
about
position.
gained yardage. Yeah, he's scrambled around. He's moved the feet nicely in the pocket and scrambling out and creating extra time.
I love his demeanor, though. Like, even when he had some rough plays, he looked exactly the same. Demeanor, calm, just out there playing and learning and processing.
And on 4th and 1, the offense stays on the field. Up 31-6. They'll try to run for it, and they'll get it. Now, I don't think that's showing up an opponent, right? I mean, you're not throwing over the top. You're just
Absolutely not.
running right down the middle.
And listen, every coach will tell you, if you're not trying to drop bombs and throw the ball downfield, you're trying to continue drives, continue working the clock, to salt away a game. And it's early in the season. You do want to see what your offensive line can do still, right? So you want to let those guys work. Do a nice job on that one. They pull the right guard, Kamal Bell. Kick open just enough of a hole.
Perry.
They're doing a nice job on the tight end, not allowing him to be the over route, doubling him up.
Playing on this beautiful grass field at Florida Atlantic. Not many grass fields around anymore. Fascinating stat from Georgia Southern. This is just the 4th time they've played on grass in the last 47 games. And they're going to be 0-4 in those 4 games. They do not play on grass often, and when they do, they don't play well.
So you're going to go back to that play before where they ran the boot. You'd like to see Perry maybe run and get about 1.5 yards, 2 yards instead of stopping the clock with a throw. You want to keep that thing moving. Just little things that you'll be able to coach him up on in the coach's room, in the meeting, the quarterback room. You don't want to take any unnecessary hits, but go slide, keep the clock running. Don't throw the ball when you don't have to.
FAU is now outgaining Georgia Southern on the ground. Georgia Southern had a big lead through a 1.5 or so, but FAU defense stepped up, and FAU's offense has been able to get some slices, though not on this drive. Timeout Georgia Southern with 7:22 to go, ahead of a 4th down. Guessing FAU will punt this one away.
Yeah.
We'll step aside real quick and come back. Halfway through the 4th, FAU almost all the way to victory. FAU with 31 straight points after Georgia Southern took the opening drive down. I guess it's been all downhill since the missed extra point following the touchdown. 25-point lead. They do stop FAU on this drive, do the Eagles, and they're going to get the ball back off the foot of Matt Habel. Really haven't seen much of him since early on in this game. Really nice kick. Fair catch at the 6-yard line by Caleb Hood. And we were talking with Michael Johnson, the first-year offensive coordinator for FAU, earlier in the week. And he said, we have to be able to pass the ball. We talked about how he said the cover 4 was going to give them an opportunity to go over the top. He said they learned something in the second half of that Florida game. They started moving the ball and getting it in the end zone when they started attacking. And he said expect a lot more of that moving forward. And we've seen a great attack today from N'Kosi Perry, who has 4 touchdown passes.
Well, what rung true to me was him saying maybe we gave our opponent too much credit in Florida, right? We didn't attack them. We gave them too much credit, and you can never do that. You got to trust what you do, trust your plan and your players to go out and execute, no matter who you line up against. And we've seen that today. They've been extremely aggressive, taking shots, and they've got playmakers everywhere.
And for Georgia Southern, it gets better, because next week you get your presumed starting quarterback back in the fold. Justin Tomlin, who was out the first 2 games for academic reasons. 15 games throughout his career, several starts as well. He might slot back into that starting quarterback position. Cam Ransom, who's out there right now, has been banged up in this game, turned his ankle, and has been just a different quarterback since, because he's one-dimensional. He can't run it anymore.
You see him hobbling around, but he's been gutsy. He's fought it out. You know, the 4th down play, he was fighting to try to get it in the end zone, wasn't able to make it, but you know, this Sun Belt Conference is tough. You got a good look at Coastal Carolina the other night, and I mean, this is a tough conference that they play in.
It's a fun quote, I thought, from Chad Lunsford, the head coach at Georgia Southern. I asked him about, you know, what he thought about being picked 4th out of 5 teams in the division, and he said, I was pissed. I was pissed we weren't picked last. He likes it when Georgia Southern is counted out, but you're in a division with Coastal Carolina and App State.
I mean, this is a very, very tough schedule. They've got BYU on the schedule late in the year as well.
BYU headed into the Big 12 in the next couple of years. That game's at home. Also have Coastal Carolina at home and Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns, at home. That one almost picked off. Right through the hands of Carell Smith.
He's got to put a little touch on this one. He's got him open on the bench route. He's just got to put it over the top, and you see he tries to drill it in there. And the flat defender just peels back upfield and gets it. But if he just puts it out to the sideline with some touch, outside, let his guy run out to it, that's an easy completion.
2nd and 10, 5:20 to play in this game. And that one almost picked off again. It was off a deflection. And this time, Romaine Mungin almost had the pick.
Well, you know they're throwing it, so will the 3rd time be the charm? That is the question. But again, I think going to his right side, he's not able to fully clear his hips and get onto that front foot because of the injury.
3rd down and 10. Ransom hit as he throws, and it is completed at the sticks for the 1st down. Nice catch by J.J. McAfee.
Throws a good ball. It comes off hard and right there with pressure. That's a great job of concentrating by McAfee.
And that pass complete again. Another 1st down. Caleb Hood done a pretty good job here in the 4th quarter, but he really didn't start getting involved until this game was out of hand.
He's like, I can't throw it to myself, coach. He's got tremendous hands. Runs good routes. Just got to find ways to keep him involved.
And that run game just hasn't been there in the second half. Amari Jones, who started at quarterback in the opener, has not played quarterback in this one, has been a running back the whole way. And hasn't had much success. 8 carries, 21 yards. Ransom stepping up in the pocket. He wanted no part of trying to turn it on again with that ankle injury.
That's the right choice. Get down and try and live the fight for another play. But we've got man in the slots and single high safety. All you got to do is use your eyes.
I don't know that he used his eyes there. Amon Ross had great position and batted that one down. 4th and 7. It's
coverage. You've got to do a better job of attacking his leverage on the route. You can't just roll up and run out. I think you're going to fool someone. Solid job of defense by Amon Ross there.
4th and 7. Have to get it to the 48 of FAU. Timeout called by the Owls.
Timeout. Timeout, FAU.
Willie Taggart up 31-6, but not happy with perhaps some miscommunication there defensively ahead of this 4th down. We'll be right back. These FAU students going to see their 9th consecutive victory on this field. Campus Insiders, your place for the latest news and information in college football. Cam Smith, Michael Felder, Matt Fortuna give an insight on the landscape of college football every Wednesday at 6 Eastern. Let you vote on our player of the game, and the winner, oh, it had to be N'Kosi Perry. 4 passing touchdowns, over 300 through the air.
He was solid and just continued to get better as the game went. Used his legs when he had to keep drives going. You see him here on the bootleg play action. Nice ball up the sideline. But this one right here is just a straight dime. Drops out of the sky for the long touchdown.
And on 4th down, a turnover on downs. The sack from Jalen Joyner. I'm really impressed with this FAU team. They were 7-point favorites today. It was not going their way in the first half. Georgia Southern had a 6-0 lead, had the ball driving down the field in the red zone. FAU forces a turnover, and it's been all Owls since.
Yeah, they've just continued to fight. And early on, they looked, it's hard to say, but they looked disinterested, right? They were getting, the ball was being run down their throat. Long drive. They give up 75 yards of rushing on the first series alone. And it looked like they were in trouble, but defense forced a takeaway. And from that moment on, they dominated this game.
And N'Kosi Perry's night appears to be done. Nick Tronti in the game at quarterback. Played a lot last season. 9 games, all 9 he appeared in. Didn't start every one of them, but really helped this team. I mean, he was in a tough position. The offense just was not there last year. He fought his way through it and really led them to some victories. They ended up with a winning record, but they lost their last 3 games. And that one of those games was against this Georgia Southern team. And they actually entered this game with a 4-game losing streak going back to last season. So this is going to snap that, extend the home winning streak, and give them a lot of momentum heading into the Fordham game next week. And then they head to Air Force, a team that looks like is going to be 2-0 after today. Last check, they were beating Navy by a couple of scores. Tronti in the shotgun on 2nd down and 8. And he's going to throw it, or at least look to throw. Now he tucks it, and late slide, but he is right at the sticks. They're going to mark him just shy of the 1st down.
And I thought he was going to try to cut back and try to go score. but a good decision. Get down. Love the fact that you get him in game and get him meaning the game's over. So, but reps are reps. Give him an opportunity to throw the ball down the field.
James Charles on the carry. Another first down pickup for the Owls, putting the finishing touches on this one. Under 3 minutes to go. They'll improve to 1-1. Georgia Southern will fall to 1-1. That was a good play defensively by Tyler Bride, who, quite honestly, it looked like he could have picked that off and run it back. I mean, he knew exactly what was coming.
It's a good job trusting his eyes and jumping in there.
Yeah, if not for Brandon Robinson getting a little bit of a chip on him, he probably would have picked that off. Troney pulls it inside the 10 and down to the 2-yard line. First and goal, under 2.5 to play. It was 2016 Mr. Florida Football and the 5A Player of the Year. Went to Indiana and then transferred here to FAU. Michael Edwards III making the stop. Ford has had the most success running the ball today as far as yardage goes. 15 carries, 71 yards, had a long of 23. But they've gotten 50 yards from Malcolm Davidson, 48 from McCammon. And they've done a pretty respectable job on the ground after a really slow start.
Remember how tough those yards were for Ford in that first half. I mean, he was getting pinballed around, but again, he kept fighting it.
And now Florida Atlantic has to call a timeout as the play clock was winding down.
Timeout, FAU. That's their second. The 30-second timeout.
Just 1:22 to go. FAU this season, biggest game on the conference schedule, probably November the 6th when they host Marshall. Marshall, the favorite in the East Division. Seems like more often than not, this division comes down to Marshall and FAU. They also have a Thursday game, October the 21st at Charlotte. Charlotte team that knocked off Duke in the opening week of the season. That Air Force game should be interesting in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's a tough team to prepare for, but they've got the bodies that they can roll in, but they're going to have to do it above altitude, above sea level, excuse me, as Troney takes it in for 6.
Had a couple rushing touchdowns last season, and in a backup role this season comes in and puts the exclamation point on a blowout victory.
This is a good fight by that offensive line to continue to try to grow and get better.
Aaron Sherrieri on for the extra point. And it's now 38 unanswered for FAU. And the kids are vaping up. You're not going to sneak that one past me.
Different times, old man. It's
Yes,
different times.
Indeed. Well, the sun setting on a hot day here in Boca Raton. Really great crowd, especially in the first half. I've called many a game here. This is the best crowd I've seen in the first half. Now that it's late and it's a blowout, a lot of the fans have headed to try to cool down. But a reminder, just 20 minutes away from the second game of our triple header here on Stadium, New Mexico State and New Mexico.
Rio Grande rivalry.
Well, last year at this time, FAU had not played, and in fact, they didn't even play till October. It was a tough year for everybody. But I mean, Willie Taggart, he was saying, I mean, he was having a tough time sleeping last year. I mean, there was one game he said they were supposed to go play Southern Miss, and they were preparing for the game, but there so many coaches were out. He said not only was he going to have to call the plays on offense, he was going to have to call the plays on defense. That game ended up being canceled, but I mean, just put so much of an emotional toll on everybody, coaches included.
Yeah, and well, it really, you got used to it, right? The players got used to trying to deal with those things, and we always talk about it before COVID even hit, right? Be comfortable with the uncomfortable. And last year was it what it was on a day-to-day basis. You had to be uncomfortable with the uncomfortable every day because you didn't know. You had to go out and work, but then you'd come back and there'd be 10 guys missing. Very, very tough for all these kids and all these coaches and support staff people. And I mean, it was a very, very tough deal, and I'm sure they all took a lot away from it.
Willie with that $1 million smile, he showed us that when we started asking him about the difference from last year to this year, and also just he knows he has such a more experienced and better team as well, and everything changes when you get that kind of quarterback in N'Kosi Perry, who has been a star in this game. 4 passing touchdowns, over 300 yards, and that might be the final play of the game. Now for Georgia Southern, they got to go to Arkansas next week, 4 Eastern, but they should get their presumed starting quarterback back in play. Justin Tomlin has missed these first couple of games due to academic reasons. They go 1-1 in those 2 games. FAU bounces back off the loss in the Swamp with a 38-6 victory. And Willie Taggart is still perfect here in paradise. 9 straight wins for FAU on this field. Howard Schnellenberger Field on the weekend, where they celebrate the life of the founder of FAU football, Howard Schnellenberger, who passed away back in March. Want to thank everybody on our stadium crew. Producer John Claybrook, director Darren Chiapetta, Sed Bonner, our analyst. I'm Chris Hassel. FAU 38 straight to close it out, 38-6, and they are going to be a tough out in Conference USA play this season. N'Kosi Perry, our player of the game, 332 yards and 4 passing touchdowns. New Mexico and New Mexico State, top of the hour.